hello and welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host, and as always, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the show, where we're going to highlight the Valley Shore Community Television Station, which is where I tape this show, which I hope you enjoy every week. And I have the pleasure of having Chuck Lewis, the Executive Director, as my guest today. And Chuck, thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you very much.
You've been here before, so welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me back.
You know what I like to do with the show is always start with the background of the guest. So why don't we refresh the memory of the viewer? Let's take them back into your background.
Yeah, let's see if I can remember. So this is, I've been doing this for, I think, almost 40 years. I started, I went off and majored in media communications. And then I graduated and went to work for a small video production film company. Did that for 10 years. A company called Media Productions, where we did a lot of local commercials and documentaries and a lot of corporate videos too. We did a lot of corporate videos. And then from there, I went on and decided to go back and get a master's degree in teaching, and I decided to take this knowledge that I had and decide to become a teacher and teach young people. I saw there was a way to take interested writers and show them how, from the fruits of their labor from writing, that they could generally, produce either news stories or special videos. So I started my career up at Manchester High School. I did that for 10 years, and then I moved down to Haddam-Killingworth High School and also taught broadcast journalism, filmmaking courses down at that high school for 20 years. Hence have retired from teaching, and I did a small, short stint at Middlesex Community College teaching in their beautiful media arts center. And so now I've reduced myself to just teaching, directing this beautiful cable access studio nonprofit. And I've been fortunate enough to have a wonderful former student of mine kind of lead the operation while I sit in the background and just make sure that the bills get paid, and we look over the day-to-day operation and get to meet wonderful people like you. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hold that thought. Let's run the demo, and then we'll come back and talk about the station.
Okay.
If we can run the demo, that would be great.
Ready, show open. In 3, 2, 1, roll video. Take jib shot. Cue in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue talent.
And hello and welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host. And again, as always, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the show.
Valley Shore Community Television launched July 2013. VSCTV is one of the top local community digital TV channels in Southern Connecticut. Our 24/7 local programming can be found on Comcast cable channels 18 and 19, Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Serving Clinton, Westbrook, Old Saybrook, Essex, Chester, Deep River, Killingworth, Haddam, and Durham. Residents, business owners, educators, and people all across the country have all discovered VSCTV and have made it part of their must-watch TV.
This is how she observed everybody.
This close.
What are you going to give me? What have you got? Show me what you've got.
Why the steady rise in viewership? It's because of the people that make up the programming.
I don't wanna give up on us.
I'm able personally to bring in music into people's living rooms of artists that they may not have ever otherwise heard of.
Gives me great hope for our future. They are not only brilliant scientists, but they are kind and compassionate individuals.
VSCTV highlights the people, places, and the beauty of the Valley Shore area. In a world of disappearing local news, VSCTV keeps our residents connected.
COVID-19 has changed the lives of millions of citizens across the world. Local, state, and federal government officials have been working tirelessly with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Many of the towns we serve carry our digital programming right to their town's own website to keep their residents informed. Valley Shore Community Television's reason for existence is to provide all the resources for the production of local quality programs that pertain to your individual town. VSCTV offers a wide variety of products and digital communication services that are available to your town, such as live remote video streaming services from any location in town.
One of Pete's favorites.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Community bulletin board posting upcoming meetings and town events. Free use of our state-of-the-art multi-camera digital production studio.
A round of applause for our candidates.
Make your town meetings available to all residents in the comfort of their living room. VSCTV can provide free consultation and equipment use for town hall videotaping service support.
Okay, on to item number 2.
With local news outlets and newspapers disappearing, VSCTV in-house producers can professionally produce local human interest stories about your town.
Having theater right here in the town for the summer is a huge addition for the arts for the whole community.
I got to really meet a lot of really interesting people and highlight a lot of really great local organizations that weren't getting the publicity or the eyes on them that they should be getting, because they're doing incredible work and they're giving back to the community, and so it's my way of being able to kind of show all their good work that they're doing too.
People who love music are able to come in and give us a hand, and I think that that's pretty cool too. And this station, there's just the shows that are produced within this one little station in Westbrook that are pretty amazing and pretty varied.
You know, I get asked when I have the camera, like, well, what news station are you with? And I get to tell them that right down the road, right down in Westbrook, I work for a public access station. Maybe they don't even know we're here, and they learn about it, they ask questions, and they want to come and check it out, or they want to check out the shows.
And meteorology, maybe they can take a couple of classes in broadcasting, get them in front of that camera, get them used to.
You can watch, it is a Swiss watch. I have lots of American watches, Hamilton, Ball.
I was going to say perspective too, because I think if we asked our kids, I don't think they'd want to trade us in.
No. That's true.
If a resident is unable to attend a meeting or special town event, let them find it in your customized on-demand video storage vault exclusively designed to host all of your town's video content. Valley Shore is not only broadcasting on Comcast channels 18 and 19, but we also have gone completely digital. Our live 24/7 programming can be found on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and other video streaming platforms. VSCTV also offers free video production and editing training to anyone interested in producing video content for your community. Valley Shore Community TV provides you the tools and information that will revitalize your town's communication network. Let VSCTV become your local digital town green.
And welcome back. Chuck, I wanted to play that demo, that videotape right away so we could talk about it. Tell us about it.
We had that, I wrote that script to that video, and I had one of our producers actually put it together for me this past summer. The main purpose of that video is to reorient mostly the town leaders in the 9 towns that we serve about all the products and services that we offer these towns, that we're so much more than just a cable channel to these towns. And the reason we're doing that is because as people are cutting the cord, we're losing viewers. So we're very fortunate here at VSCTV. We've moved into the next generation of digital web streaming, and so all of our content is now available worldwide as we said there, through various different apps. The biggest push we've been making, though, is so that we give the community access to our signal and what we do, regardless of whether you have cable TV or not. We have a strong presence on we're trying to get a strong presence. We have a number of town web pages. So you go to those town web pages and you can find a link that'll take you right to VSCTV, which will get you access to our 24/7 broadcasting. And then one of the greatest tools that we're offering our towns is the fact that we can help organize all their video content in a video vault that we'll provide and build for them on their town web pages. So the video really is kind of a nice overview of all the different things, the very different things that we have that many people aren't aware of. And most of these services that we provide these towns, they're all free of no charge to these communities. You know, our income comes from cable subscribers. And unfortunately, as people cut the cord, that income starts to drop, and so do the viewers. So we're right now in a massive study right now. We tried to get a bill last year in front of the legislators. We have a lobbying company working for all the cable access providers across the state of Connecticut to try to find a new funding source, because we know that we're going to wake up one day and cable TV may not exist in the way that we're used to. It's going to all be streaming now. People and viewers have decided that they want to really choose the content that they have access to. They don't want 45 or 200 stations access to and pay for that. Cable bills have gotten very expensive over the years, and so people are looking for another source. The a la carte way to go is the new choice, where you can pay for a monthly fee for Netflix, for Amazon TV, for Disney, and then even all the networks now, like CBS has moved over. They have a Paramount station. They have actually a couple digital platforms now that they're offering their consumers. So there's a lot going on in the industry. There's a lot of changes taking place. So we're trying to stay ahead of that curve. And so as these changes take place, that there's still a value and a purpose to what local access television is all about. And the key to that is being able to be that local voice for the community, so that we can, as we highlighted in that video, still highlight not only the town meetings, but the parades, the Bluefish festivals, the Christmas parades, the Christmas tree lightings, the theater that's taking place over at the Kate Theater, and all the very different things that are available to our local community. So it's important that our towns still have access to that local voice. And so that's sort of where my job has shifted in the last couple of years, is I'm the #1 advocate up there in Hartford, fighting to keep cable access alive, along with some of my colleagues. And so I spend a lot of time, as I was mentioning to you earlier before we began the broadcast today. I just finished a big study that I'm doing with the Public Utility Regulatory Authority, who's finally has the microscope where it belongs on cable access providers like ourselves. They should have been there 3 or 4 years ago before it's gotten to this level, but they're looking at what does the future look like for cable access providers for ourselves. So it'll be interesting to see what the results of that study recommend going forward about what cable access providers look like. So again, to that video, that's a great source. I mean, I actually, when I did my report, as I was filling out some of these interrogatories, I gave them the link, the people that are making the decisions up in Hartford, I gave them the link to that video to show what a variety of different services, we're not just a cable access, station, channel 18 or channel 19. We're so much more to our communities, and I want them to see that so they can understand how relevant we are to our communities.
Okay, let's hold that thought. I'm Deborah Gilbert. You are tuned into Arts and Entertainment. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You matter.
You matter.
You matter.
And your words matter too.
Your words matter.
What you say in the hallways at school or in the student section at a game matters.
Words can be hurtful.
Words can be offensive.
Words can leave scars.
Words can also inspire,
support, and uplift.
You and your words.
Are they both important?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide. It provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
And welcome back to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host, and we are highlighting a television station that is based in Westbrook, Connecticut. And if you don't know about it, I have the executive director here to tell you about it. You know what, I wanted to talk about volunteers and television producers. People don't understand that they can come in and produce their own program. Tell us about that.
Right. Because we are set up as a 501c3 nonprofit, it takes an army of people to put together a production, as you know, like this. And so what happens is we need volunteers, and volunteers, it becomes a great opportunity to meet new people, to get involved and learn a new trade. And then we're hoping that some of these volunteers will take their experiences in the studio shows like yourselves and go out and produce some their own video content, highlight some of the things that interest them in their community and bring that content back for us. We'll help them and even teach them how to edit and put it together so that they can take credit for that. But yeah, volunteers and producers like yourselves, without either of you, we would not be where we're at. And we're so fortunate that we have an active pool of producers and an active pool of volunteers that keep things going forward here. And we're highly grateful. We're very, very grateful for them. And that's what makes this all so special. In my experiences, I've been connected to cable access television for almost 40 years. And in all my experiences, I've seen the fruits of all that. I've got a list as long as my arm, probably both arms, of young people and people like myself, and they're, no matter what the age, that have started in an environment like this and gone on and leading very successful careers in the television industry. I have a number of students that are working at former students and started in cable access providers as volunteers just like this in my studio up at Channel 18 in Haddam-Killingworth. I have two wonderful, world-renowned reporters working for CNN. I have another young lady who's an anchor out in San Francisco for an ABC affiliate. So there's a lot of success stories, and that's just a small, and we have many cable access volunteers that are going on and leading wonderful careers in all different varieties of television and video production. People in this country have a thirst for content, for local content. I mean, that's why, television, especially, you look at what happened during the pandemic. It's sad to see that so many movie theaters have shut down because people were afraid to go out into large settings and be, run the risk of exposure in a large group of people. But as a result of it, the people have developed a tremendous thirst because so many people have been, housebound for so long for local content and for, good documentaries and short films and you name it. There's a tremendous thirst for content out there. And a lot of, you think about all the people that are, even producing in Hollywood films, they all had to start somewhere. And I'll guarantee that many of them started in a facility just like this, working on a show just like yours, as an observer, and then as a camera operator or editor or, technical director, switching and doing audio. But without, everyone has to start somewhere. And so that's one of the other great gifts that cable access operations like ourselves provide our community. We're a training ground, not only a nice, wonderful opportunity to meet and greet wonderful people and as a social environment, but also we're a training environment. We're providing skills that people can go out and market themselves and lead a wonderful new career or make a career change like I did. I sort of went through a career change, a couple of career changes from, being the guy who thought I was going to be in front of the camera. I decided, well, I'm better off behind the camera, and then I decided to change that over into teaching young people how they can do it themselves, and so yeah, we're very, very, very lucky that we have. And I look at where we came from. You were asking how old the studio. We're coming up on our 10th year. I remember when we took this operation over from Comcast, which used to be located in downtown Clinton, in one of the old, beautiful historic building in downtown Clinton. When I took this facility, when we petitioned it to the state of Connecticut, the Public Utility Regulatory, there was 1 or 2 shows being produced there. And now we have dozens of shows being produced here on a weekly basis. So, the fact that we took a facility from large corporate company and gave it back to the community had such great dividends because the community takes ownership for this, and there's a lot more pride involved when you can say that this belongs to you. This is your TV station, Deborah. This is here for you, and I think you're a great example of how you've taken great advantage of it and brought in a wonderful cross-section of guests all across the board, and we were very grateful for that from you.
It's because of the newspaper that I found this television station. It's not known. How is it that you're able to get the voice out that it exists?
Well, it's through people like yourselves. When you reach out, it's kind of a collateral effect. When you bring in new volunteers, like the young lady that you have working behind the scenes tonight helping us, hopefully word of mouth is the best thing. And that's the thing that we struggle with, is how do we get the word out? And you highlighting this program and what we're all about, hopefully another viewer or two will see that and want to get involved. And we're easy to find. We have a wonderful website you can find, and we're easy to find. We're right on a beautiful campus of Water's Edge Resort. We have beautiful facility here, and yeah, it's just a matter of that newspaper that was a trade-off that we did with Harbor News Zippo 6. I need to reinitiate that. There's been some changes in leadership and the new changes in editors there, and so I've got to break through the wall there and convince the new editor that's a good thing to post a small ad that highlights the program content that we're showing, and then put a little blurb below it says that volunteers needed. Come produce your own television show, kind of like what you did. So.
The website, I don't want to forget it. What will people find when they visit it?
Well, the website, they can stream first of all, they can find a live stream. We broadcast 24/7. And then there's a wonderful video vault there that they can find content, past shows that you've produced, past shows that Mark Kosowitz has produced, the parades from the musters in town. Any of the content that we produce, it's all available on demand, and they can find that. And also a little bit more about the studio, what we're all about. We have our policies and procedures. If you're interested in being a volunteer and producing your own content, we give you the the policy and procedures that we have to follow to provide that content to it. But it's a very active website, and again, it'll show you can stream. The biggest takeaway there is that you can stream us. You don't need to have cable TV. You can stream our content live and any of our shows from the vault. From our webpage, and that's why we're making our webpage. We want to have a presence on every town's web pages, though, so they know they can help start finding us. So just recently, we've added Clinton, Westbrook, Old Saybrook, and Deep River now, and we're working on Durham and Killingworth and Haddam to get us a presence on their webpage too, so people can find us a little more easy as they cut the cord, and so they know where to find our content.
What does the future look like?
I think the future is, I think we've presented just recently to all the town leaders just recently and showed them that video, and we showed them the value that we bring to our towns and to our community. I think as long as we have folks like Chris Morgan and volunteers and producers like yourselves producing content, we're going to be around for a long time. I see it, and I think that the takeaway from this study is that VSCTV is a model regional cable access provider in the state of Connecticut. I think we are definitely one of the model operations in the state of Connecticut. So the takeaway again from this is that I see maybe us picking up a few more towns in the future, growing our audience. And I think we need to do more grassroots things in the community to get the word out that we're here. And we need folks like yourselves, setting up maybe a booth at a large, a gathering, and say, here we are, hand out cards. This is where you can find us. This is the kind of programming we have. So it's not going to be just myself, one person doing that. It's going to be help. I'm going to need help from all of you to spread the word about what we are all about and how we can provide a local voice to our communities and be that, as I said in that video, the digital local town green to our communities.
We are starting to run out of time, but what is your message to the potential volunteer or the potential individual that would like to produce a television show? How do you get them to come in?
I think the best thing to do right now is please, call the station, set up an appointment, come on down, we'll give you a tour. And during that tour, if there's some area that you're interested in, that's one of the cool things about it. You don't have to be, you can be shy, like I am. I try, and a lot of volunteers, that they don't want to be in front of the camera, but there's so many unique things that you can do behind the camera as far as, so there's a variety of different jobs. And I think the greatest takeaway is we need more producers to go out and produce more content. Your show is great, the studio is great, but to be honest with you, the very best work that comes back to VSCTV is the stuff that gets produced out in the field. and then they bring it here, they do a little editing, and they put it on. That highlights all the variety. There's so many great things going on in our community that we're not bringing to our community in a larger audience, but we can do that. But in order to do that, we need more producers to get involved that want to take, sign out a camera at no charge. We'll train you how to use it. Sign that camera out, take it out, shoot your content, come back in. We'll even show you how to edit. We have a wonderful editing platform that we can teach you how to edit your video, add graphics, add music, add titles, and put together a nice package. And then we'll put it on air for you and make it available to you. So we're always looking for more people to get involved. I know that Chris is probably cringing in there right now. He's like, Chuck, you work me to the bone already. I can't take it. But that's why we need volunteers to do more, to take on more things. And he's a great model, and myself too. We're always glad to show people how to do it and get them involved. And I can't thank you enough for giving me access to your show and spreading the good word about what we're all about.
Well, that's the most important thing for me, was to bring you back, to be able to give a voice to the station and the future of what it's looking like. I want to thank you for coming here today. It's been a pleasure. We've run out of time, so thank you.
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
And you've been tuned in to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host. In case you would like to volunteer, as Chuck was talking about, I'd love to have you. Please email me at artsandentertainment@mail.com. Well, I hope you have a super day today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you next time.